Hello, Canaway Nation. This is Billy Funk, and this video is to help you use a different method to prospect professionals. If you looked inside of your business right now and you saw a bunch of professionals, well, I'm sure they're duplicating. And if you got to the top of the comp plan as a royal diamond and you looked back at how you did it, you would realize that you brought in a bunch of professionals. You either developed leaders or you found leaders that were already developed. One or two ways. One way is kind of the slow way, and one way is a little bit quicker. I like to use a little bit of a both strategy, where I'm always prospecting people that are already developed leaders, and at the same time, I always love to have a handful of people that I'm mentoring and bringing up and developing as leaders. And if you have that same methodology and philosophy inside of your business, I think you're gonna have a lot more success. Let me teach you, though, really quickly, a way for you to prospect professionals that are inside of your life right now that is very non-obtrusive. It's very non-aggressive, and it's a really easy way for you to get somebody to take a look at your business. So here's how it goes. Let's say that you got a friend who is a chiropractor. You know, you got a good friend, his name is Bob. Dr. Bob is a chiropractor, and you just don't know the best way to introduce Canaway to him. Here's a really simple way for you to introduce Canaway to him without it looking like you're pitching him. So inside of Canaway, there are literally hundreds of different professionals inside of different professions, inside of different industries. Doctors, lawyers, accountants, teachers, engineers, chiropractors, naturopaths, holistic practitioners. There's policemen, there's retired people from the army, troops, you name it. You can look inside of Canaway and you can find just about every single profession. So here's what I'm gonna say. Dr. Bob is a good friend of mine and I want him to take a look at Canaway. So instead of sending Bob a message saying with my link in it, saying, Bob, you gotta check this out, and spamming him, instead I'm gonna go around a different methodology. I'm gonna use this philosophy and this strategy. I'm gonna call Bob up on the phone, or let's say I meet him in person, and I'm gonna say, Bob, I got a question for you. I recently got started with a side project, and I'm having a lot of success with chiropractors inside of this company. We're doing really well together. What would you do if you were me and you were looking to find more chiropractors? What would you go? What would you do? Now, Bob is gonna do one or two things. And he's either gonna say to you most likely, well, what is it? What are you doing? Which is exactly what you wanted him to say in the first place. Or let's say he doesn't say what is it and he answers your question. Well, he just answered your question and gave you some ideas about how to find more chiropractors. So I hope that makes sense to you. So in that process, Bob is going to most likely say to you, what is it? What are you doing? He's probably gonna he's curious. You've drawn his curiosity to the point where he wants to know what you're doing. What are you talking about? He's gonna say to himself, well, I'm a chiropractor. What do you got? Let's say you've got a friend that is an accountant. There's plenty of accountants inside of Canaway. And you wanted to approach him and use this type of method out, and your friend's name is Mary. Mary's a CPA. I would say to Mary, I got a really quick question. Can you do me a favor? I've started a side project with a bunch of other accountants, and we're having a lot of success together. What would you do if you were me, if you were looking to meet more accountants? Now she's either gonna say, well, what is it? What's your side project? I'm an accountant, or she's gonna give you some advice on where to find them. Either way, it's a positive. Either way, you're gonna expose and find more accountants to actually introduce Canaway to. So if you got a doctor, you got a lawyer, you've got an accountant, you've got a chiropractor, it doesn't matter. If you're looking to go out there and prospect more professionals, simply approach them and say, what would you do if you were me? Can I get your opinion on something? I just got started with the side project, and I'm having a lot of success with other professionals, whatever profession they're in. What would you do if you were me, if you were looking to meet more of those professionals? It's super simple. They're most likely 9 times out of 10 going to ask you, well, what is it? Then you simply go through the steps of introducing them to Canaway and watch what happens. It's a lot of fun. You'll see a lot of success with this if you simply go out there and you approach professionals that are inside of your warm market, people that you have relationships with, and 9 times out of 10 they'll ask you what is it, and it'll be an easy way for you to introduce Canaaway to them because they'll be asking you to introduce it to them. Hope that makes sense. Watch it again if it doesn't. And until next time, guys, stay awesome.